What is going on, everybody? It is me again. It's HorrorFan34, and welcome to another video. And welcome to day 7 of the Christmas Movie Day Challenge. It's been like I said, it's been really fun doing these reviews. So, now we're still venturing into the horror category. So we're still in the horror films category of Christmas films. I just came off of doing the reviews for parts 1 and 2 of Silent Night, Deadly Night, which was a lot of fun to do. Now it's time. I talked about this actually when I was doing the first review for the Silent Night, Deadly Night for the Christmas Challenge. When I was reviewing the first movie, I kind of brought this film up, and I promised that I was actually going to be reviewing this during the marathon. And if you can tell by the title of the video, it's going to be on Christmas Evil. Yeah, Christmas Evil was a film that was, I think, 1980. This was 1980. So this was before Silent Night, Deadly Night, and directed by Lewis Jackson, who I don't think went on to direct anything else after this, which is a shame. And I don't know if he's still with us anymore or not. I don't know if he is, but if he's not, I don't know. But I think this is a really well done. I mean, they advertise it on the cover as a slasher with the knife, but it's not really a slasher film, even though it is labeled as a slasher. Like I said in the review for the Silent Night, Deadly Night, the first movie, I kind of compared it to this, where both films kind of deal with a killer dressed as Santa Claus. But I was saying that while Silent Night, Deadly Night was more fun, more gory, much more over the top when it comes to the death scenes and things like that, while this one is more of a character study, where it's kind of done in the vein of a Taxi Driver or something like that. Definitely more of a psychological thriller kind of piece, where it kind of delves into the mind of this character, Harry Stadling, played by Brandon Maggart, who plays this guy here. There he is on the back, right there, on the far right there. Now, with this one, what happened was it kind of follows a very similar formula to Silent Night, Deadly Night, but the basic idea was that Brandon Maggart's character of Harry, when he was a kid, he caught his dad dressed as Santa Claus, having sex with his mother, and it kind of made him not believe in Santa Claus anymore, and it kind of traumatized him, things like that. Kind of more of a tamer version, say, of the character of Billy in Silent Night, Deadly Night, seeing his parents being killed on Christmas Eve by a killer. But it's many years later, and Harry is working at a toy factory as a toy maker. And then basically, he decides to make his own kind of naughty and nice list. And whoever are the naughty kids, he kills their parents. And hence the title Christmas Evil. Now, like I said, it's not really a film that you can really spoil too much of, because not much happens, because it's more of a psychological thriller, kind of delving into the mind of this character, Harry. But I will say it's very, very well done. It's also known as Better Watch Out, which ironically enough, Silent Night, Deadly Night actually used that for, I think, the third movie, the subtitle for the third movie. And Better Watch Out was another titled movie, I think, a couple years ago, which was a pretty cool movie too. But getting on to the cast, I think Brandon Maggart did a really good job as Harry. I really do like the fact they kind of made this more of a different kind of Christmas horror film, where it's kind of more of a character piece, kind of seeing what this guy's state of mind is, and things like that. And like I said, the cover is very misleading, because with this blood on the knife, kind of makes you think it's going to be another pre-Silent Night, Deadly Night, and it's not that. So if you go into this film expecting a whole lot of blood and guts and gore, you're going to be very disappointed. But if you want to see more This is kind of like along the lines of like Black Christmas, kind of like in a way more of a slow burn type of Christmas horror film. And they're both labeled slasher films, but they're more like like more slower paced, not a whole lot of gore, things like that. While Silent Deadly Night is full out gore and just all kinds of craziness. But like I said, Brandon Maggard does a good job. You also have Jeffrey DeMunn as his brother. Jeffrey DeMunn, who's been in a ton of movies, the original Hitcher. I mean, if you look up Jeffrey DeMunn, I believe he was in the Blob remake, if I'm not mistaken. I think he was in that too, as the sheriff. So he's been in tons of movies, Jeffrey DeMunn. And also, too, another fun fact about the film, too, is... what's the actress's name? What is her name? Patricia Richardson or something like that? I don't know for sure what her name is, but the mom from Home Improvement has a very, very tiny role. Like, you hear her voice and you see her face for a split second. So she has a small part in this as one of the kids' parents, as the mom. And I'll tell you this. One of the things that really makes this film very intriguing is its ending. I'm not going to say what the ending is, because it's one of the most crazy, most bizarre, but at the same time kind of a creative ending. I will say myself, it's a pretty creative ending if you ask me. I mean, if you've seen the film, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But if you haven't seen the film, I'm going to leave that up to you guys to see this for yourself, and then come back later, and then then you'll see what I mean by when I talk about the ending, or not. Like talk about how I just explained it. But very intriguing ending, I will say so. It's pretty unique, not gonna lie. And like I said before too, it's pretty unique how they kind of made a Christmas horror film kind of in the vein of Taxi Driver, where it's more of a character study. Because usually a lot of Christmas slashers, like nowadays, are all about the gore and blood and things like that, while Lewis Jackson kind of takes more of a different kind of like turn and kind of makes it more like a psychological thriller. And I think it works very, very well. It's very well directed. I really like the cast, especially Brandon Maggard as Harry, who's on the cover. I really like him. Like I said, I like you have a couple fun sequences at the end when a mob is chasing him, things like that. That kind of leads to the ending a little bit of what happens to Harry. I'm not gonna say what, but it's pretty unique and pretty crazy. But I don't really know what more I can say about Christmas Evil. But if you really want to see kind of like a slow burn movie, kind of like in the vein of Black Christmas, and not really a gory Christmas film. And if you want to see kind of a different take on like a Christmas, like dealing with a serial killer, I definitely recommend you check out Christmas Evil. I think it's a pretty unique Christmas horror film that not many people talk about when it comes to Christmas horror films. Like they talk about like Black Christmas, Silent Night, Deadly Night, and the sequels, of course, and like Gremlins. They always think of when it comes to Christmas horror. But not many people talk about Christmas Evil, but I think it's a pretty unique movie. But that's pretty much it for my review for Christmas Evil. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.